Good evening, social media world. How are you this evening? Hope you are all well. I'm going to give it a few minutes for people to jump on. If people do, and if not, you're probably sitting outside in the garden, having a glass of wine, and enjoying the sunshine. And I wish I was with you. I really do. Instead of being in my house looking rather disheveled, having been packing stuff and tidying up and going through drawers all day. So I'll wait a few minutes till people drop on till I tell you what's happening in my life. And before I start talking to you about the subject tonight, which is one of my favourite subjects to talk about. I love talking about many things. This is one of them. So I didn't even bother combing my hair before coming on here. How awful. How terrible, Mandy. As you can see, there's not the usual piece of art behind me. There's packing boxes. And there's my vision board on the floor because I'm getting things packed up. So the good news is I am moving over to Scotland on the 12th of June. I've had to book a holiday cottage for a couple of weeks. And then I've got a flat. I didn't have a flat on Sunday. I have a flat now. So I've got a flat which I'm going to live in temporarily for about 6 months while I renovate this house in Scotland. Now, I manifested a flat. I want you to note this because I'm going to do a live tomorrow about the manifestation process and what's happening. But note that I manifested a flat 60 seconds from the house that I've bought so that I can be there every day harassing the contractors and the workmen. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight, but just giving you a little update anyway, because my life is madness at the moment. But I want to talk to you about something that actually brings me back down to earth tonight. And what I'm going to be talking to you about tonight is how important your values are to you in business. So I'm going to talk you through values, what they are, how to identify them, and how important they are in the structure of your life and your business. And I'm going to give you some tips, and I'm going to use an example so that you can get your head around this and how important it is to you. So I've got some notes, and I'm going to refer to the notes, and I've got a handout if anybody wants it. As usual, you just have to let me know. So I'm going to start by saying values are one of the most influential elements in our personal and professional lives. Now, I actually wrote this statement. This is part of my workbook in my program. I'm going to say it again. Values are one of the most influential elements in our personal and professional lives. They have a significant influence on our behavior, and any changes that we seek to make in our lives and in our business. They are the driving forces that sit within us, sit in our subconscious. Sometimes you're not even aware that those values are there and are so strong. So values are things like honesty, integrity, fun, friendship, loyalty, those sorts of things. And these are the things that people choose to live their lives by. It's who you are at the core, the thing that you can't not be. These are your values. They are what cause us to evaluate situations and evaluate what we do and what we are about to do. They help us to make decisions. And our values motivate us. If you are an eco-warrior and you want to save the planet, it's because your values are about that very thing. And everything that you do will be aligned around your particular values on wanting to save the planet. Everything, you'll understand it at a deep level. There'll be something that runs through the center of you that is your driving force in that direction. They can be sitting in your unconscious, and you might actually not even know how important that value is to you until you come upon conflict. And conflict is, hi there. I love it when people drop on and say hello. Conflict is one of the biggest drivers that allows us to identify exactly what our values are. So for instance, let's use an example here. If you are in a well-paid job that supports your family, and family is important to you, and you are being asked to work long hours and extra days and late nights, and you are seeing your family less, hi Isabel, then that is going to be at odds with your value system. You are doing something to provide for your family, but it's actually taking you away from the very thing that's important to you. Therefore, you're going to be in conflict. And that's when you start to really realize what your values are and how important they are in your life and in your professional life, in your personal and professional life. Now, normally we have a hierarchy of values. So there'll be one value that's really, really important to us. It's of particular importance. It's our driving force. It could be integrity. That's more important than anything else, and that we want to be seen as having integrity in everything we do, whether it's in our relationships, in our personal life, whether it's at work, whether it's with, our dealings with other areas. It's so important to us. It drives who we are. It drives our behavior, our personality, and the actions that we take and the goals that we set. That doesn't mean we don't have other values sitting there as well, but that one is the one that is most noticeable to us as individuals. Health can be a real value for us. It can be really important. There's lots of people out there where health is really vital to their survival, their life. Everything they do is about their health, how they manage their productivity, their time, their work-life balance, the food that they eat, the exercise that they do. So one of the things I'd like you to do tonight, and like you to think about, is what do you think is the most important thing to you? What is the driving force that sits behind you and everything that you do? And a great exercise to do here is to go away and sit with a piece of paper and brainstorm this. Think about what you think is the most important thing to you. Write it down and then find 10 reasons why that is a really important value to you. So if it is integrity, why is integrity important to you? What is it that makes that important to you? Who do you admire that shows integrity? How does that show up in them? Do you see that in yourself? Do you mirror those behaviors? What other examples can you find that uphold this value of yours that you feel is really important to you? And how would you know if you were in conflict with it? So for instance, if integrity is important to you and you want to be honest and you are asked to do something dishonest for the good of your business and your family, you would be at odds with your core values. You would not be able to do that because it's important to you. I'm on a live, Dan. Sorry, shut the door, please. That's my son opening the door when he knows I'm on a live. How I maintain personal life as well as college internship. Please give me some tips. Right. That's a difficult one for me to be able to give you some tips on a live, but obviously having a good work-life balance would be important to you. So I would sit down and start writing, what does my work-life balance look like? What are the things that I am doing to achieve it? Where do I think there are gaps? Who has a good work-life balance? And how can I find out what it is that they do to help them maintain that? Having a value that belongs to you and that's important to you doesn't mean that you shouldn't seek out feedback and instruction from other people and help with making sure that you can uphold that value in your life. So you can have lots of values that are important to you. And what's really important is you create a hierarchy. So if integrity is important to you and honesty is important to you and fun and friendships and family, what's the most important? What's the one that sits at the top? Put it at the top and then work out the 10 things underneath that one thing that make it important to you. Then move on to the next one. What you'll find is as you do that exercise, the hierarchy may change because you'll start to discover that maybe some things aren't as important to you as others. And why am I suggesting that you do this? Because if you're in business, it's vital that you run your business in line with your values. So for me, integrity is really important. It's important for me to show up in an honest way, be honest with people. I don't take people onto my program if I don't think that they're right for it. I treat people with honesty and integrity. And there are certain things I won't do in business because they don't sit in line with my values. Now, we all have this level of attachment to these important values. As companies, as business owners, we've got to be crystal clear on them. So I want to share with you this, which is Google's vision, mission, and 10 core values, so that you can understand that if Google have spent time doing this, how important it is for you as a business owner to think about your core values and how they run through your business. So the vision for Google is to provide an important service to the world, instantly delivering relevant information on virtually any topic. That's their vision. Under that sits their mission: organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. That's their mission statement. Simple, not overcomplicated, one page. This is a multi-billion-dollar company, and they summarize it on one page, but they've done the work to get them there. And their 10 core values. This is where we get back to, this is what's important to the owners of this company. Number 1, focus on the user and all else will follow. That's their top value. Focus on the user and all else will follow. Number 2, it's best to do one thing really, really well. Number 3, fast is better than slow. In the world that they work in, fast is better than slow. That becomes one of their core values. Number 4, democracy on the web works. That's important to them. Number 5, you don't need to be at your desk to need an answer. That's on the go. Phone users, we are a mobile virtual society now with a demand for this information at the touch of a button, and we want it fast. Number 6, you can make money without doing evil. This is important to note. Google have said it's okay to make money and you don't have to rip people off to do it. That's one of their important values. Number 7, there's always more information out there. Number 8, the need for information crosses all borders. They recognize their need to be available around the globe. That language and borders and countries are not a barrier for them. Number 9, you can be serious without a suit. I love number 9. It's my favorite core value, and I get that so much. And number 10, great just isn't good enough. Now, if you break those values down, they're basically saying we've got to deliver what the user wants. The user wants us globally. They want things fast, but we are going to be a company that accepts that we're not going to be stuffy, so you don't have to wear a suit, that we're going to make money, but we're going to do it without being evil. Yeah, and it's all about the user experience. I love Google's vision, mission, and 10 core values because it tells me everything about that company. And I think when you can get that crystal clear on how your values drive your business and drive your personal and professional life, then not only do you have clarity, but the people that you serve have clarity. Even if you're selling products, the people that you serve have clarity. Your products may sit within your values. So if you are an environmentalist and you sell a product, yet that product is wrapped in plastic, that product does not sit within your values, does it? It's your job then to find a product that can be packaged in a different way that actually sits in line with your values. If you are a coach and you are serving people, it's really important that you are honest about the process that you follow and what your clients can expect when they are working with you. And that, there's a lot of different levels of service that are delivered out there, but yours needs to be based on your values. It can sound really complicated, this, but honestly, the best way to do this is to sit down with a piece of paper and put some time into it. If you want a copy of Google's vision, mission, and 10 core values, I am happy to just give you that one-page copy. Just let me know. Tell me that you would like it, and I'll send it to you in Messenger if you're on Facebook or any of the other platforms within the messaging services. Because I think having an example there sometimes helps you to be able to really think deeply about what it is that impacts you in your professional and personal life. And remember that your values are the most influential elements in your life. I am on my way to Scotland. I'm on my way to Scotland to buy a home that I can expand and grow my business in. But what I am doing sits within my value system. How I operate that business will sit within my value system. How I market that business, how I communicate that business, all of that sits within my value system. So make sure that whatever you're doing sits within yours and that it's visible for people to see. And that comes through in everything you write, just like Google. So that's all I'm going to say to you tonight. Please, if you want to know more, if you want that one page, just let me know. I will be back next Tuesday night with another thought-provoking session for you at the moment. I am literally rushing around like a Tasmanian devil, doing hundreds of things at the moment, moving to Scotland, building my business, growing my business, having to live in different places over the next month or so so I'm going to be doing lives from lots of different places over the next few weeks. You see me here this week and next week, then I'll be somewhere else for a couple of weeks, then I'll be somewhere else for a couple of weeks. That's just the way it is. But one of my core values is to have fun and live in the moment. That's important to me. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'm hopefully taking you guys on the journey with me. So have a wonderful week. Same time, same place next week with more information, and get writing. Start thinking about your values. Bye for now.